Red Flag is probably the premier flying exercise in the Western world that takes place here in Nevada. We're very lucky. We are on the doorstep of the Nevada ranges here, a very large area where we're able to simulate all sorts of threats. So as well as a flying exercise involving fast jets and tanker aircraft, there's also a lot of play with other capabilities such as cyber and space. And it's really representative of today's war and also tomorrow's war, and it gives our crews, who are the best of the best, the guys that come here really are the very best from Australia and the United States and the UK, and it gives them the best training there is possible. Well, Red Flag is probably, it's almost like the pinnacle. It's the exercise that you need to do to make sure that your forces are ready to go and do what they need to do. I mean, hopefully they will never have to go and do this kind of thing for real, but clearly we need to be ready to go and do this anywhere in the world, and particularly if we've got to fight a capable adversary, particularly if we need to work alongside the Americans, then there is no substitute for this exercise. Well, it's actually gone absolutely brilliantly. We've been very lucky. The weather has been really good. Everything seems to have gone extremely well. The aircraft have remained serviceable. The crews, the UK crews, well in fact all the crews have done extremely well. We obviously start the exercise at a sort of a fairly low tempo and then ratchet it up as we go through and make it more and more difficult. So week one was, I wouldn't say it was easy, but it was easier, and with a successful week one behind us, we've now started to really increase the tempo. You know, that the opposition forces start to do more sneaky things and become less cooperative, and so it really starts to make it much more difficult for our young men and women who are faced with dealing with this threat. There's been a lot of change actually with Red Flag. They've taken a lot of opportunities to develop it much more. It's much more of a sort of a global type scenario now, and there are a lot more capabilities. So we're integrating space capabilities, we're introducing cyber capabilities, as well as the normal flying exercises, and as well as a sort of an enemy or an opposition threat simulation out there in the ranges, and this all comes together on this exercise. So it's real 21st century warfare at the high end that we're training our men and women to cope with.